This is Weird Renegade Witches Blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done. Of course, go to the website, click onto the link of old shows of Blogtalkradio. However, lessons are starting this month in the month of January, and you already know that Wayward is about that revenge, redemption, responsibility, that spell work. So go to Weird Renegade website, waywardrenegadewitchesblog.com. And of course, I always say I've received your texts. And I'm going to contact you guys. However, lessons one-on-one lessons are separate from one-on-one lessons. So there's one-on-one monthly lessons, and then one-on-one that I do with individuals that I work with them closely with their life frequencies and what they want and so on. And at times, of course, it incorporates work. However, 2025 is very interesting, isn't it? I had to wear my red wig in recognition of the sister who jumped out the way like a stunt woman from that white truck that was burling down the fucking street of, I don't know, was it Bourbon? I don't know. So the way she jumped, and people like, oh Lord, she's prayed for, da 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 da. Bitch, I'm wearing the wig in recognition of her because I want her superpowers. I'm going to start off with some energies. I was looking at this movie called Shiver, and I found the movie was done in the 1970s. Shiver seemed like it was your smart city, your 15-minute city, where they built a community. Yeah, it's called Shiver or Shivers. Look it up. 1970s, where they built a community that had grocery stores, medical facilities, and more. I said, damn, they've been planning this shit for decades and centuries. And within this movie, they had their own medical facility where they were, I don't know, inserting or created a mutant that jumped into people's noses, mouth, vaginal, penis, anus hole. And the whole building was fucked up. And I started thinking about Haitian magic, right? And I'm always invited to Haitian, I call it Haitian ceremonies. I forgot, I missed one that they wanted me to come to. And I'm like, I don't fuck around, because I know those entities and spirits jump around in people. And correct me if I have any Haitian people or anyone with knowledge of Haitian culture. I believe Haitians are the real Africans. And I believe that they moved them Haitians off of their continent and put them on another planet. Because is it called a Getty or something? Not the Loa, as you guys call it now, but I think it was called a Getty or whatever. And it is a sexual entity that basically jumps around in people and they become very sexual, right? I'm like, ooh, I don't want to fuck around and I don't want to find out. Because I seen that shit in person at a Haitian ceremony, and I was like, bitch, I am out. And you wondering why I'm talking like this, because they building so many apartment buildings. I was so amazed. Like, being from San Francisco, and Haight Street is a certain frequency and foundation. And what is it? Is it called Ambra? Whatever, the record store right there. Is it Ambrosia? Ambra? Whatever. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, they built a new building where that old McDonald's used to be, right there on Haight, where the park is at Golden Gate Park, right? And I looked at it, I said, I'm uncomfortable. And they building all these smart cities with all of these facilities, stores, medical, all of that. And back in the 70s, they were already talking about this. And people within the community are under the spell work. But when I seen this movie, it reminded me of the world and apps and sex, Atlanta, orgies, just loosey-goosey. I said, what mutant didn't jump in all of us to be so sexually deviant, to be under the book of Leviticus and be unclean? Right? They have y'all migrating from city to city, city to city, city to city. Right? They have these clinics, but the spiritual constituents brought something to my attention that I had to do some more research. So let's fact check them. So instead of them fact checking us, let's fact check them. Because I'm educated, even though my ass sound like I'm ignorant like a motherfucker, but I'm educated, right? I got a degree. I've studied. So let's talk and have a conversation in 2025. The spiritual constituents brought to my attention of a conversation she had with a father. She know who she is. That said, his daughter has HIV. And she's in Memphis. They prescribed her medication for her HIV. There was something suspicious. I'm just telling a story. I'm not saying what it is, what it ain't what it is. They prescribed her a prescription for her HIV. Prep niggas, allegedly. And more. And I am not giving medical advice. I'm telling a story for entertainment purposes. Because I had to go back into my witch doctor energy, because I'm trying to find out things, right? 2025, right? The father peeped, and I'm paraphrasing, the father peeped, there was something going on with his daughter that wasn't right. So apparently, and I'm assuming, I understood the father's from Louisiana. The father is Southern California. So you already understand. Remember I said Southern California is the hub for Louisiana, and San Francisco, or the Bay Area, is the hub for Texas. And yes, there are Louisiana people there, but it's more Louisiana people in Los Angeles. We have to understand California. Remember I talked about the Louisiana cult, the Creole cult. And where they went to Louisiana, they went to Los Angeles, then some went to San Francisco, but a lot of Texans went to the Bay Area, okay? Especially from Houston. So apparently his daughter was living in Memphis, Tennessee. And I'm a little bit unclear, but I will assume that the father, of course, was in Southern California. The father came out to Southern California. The father came out to Southern California. The daughter came out to Southern California, I'm assuming, to visit. While she was out here, the father took her to a medical doctor in California. Apparently, the medical doctor looked at the medication and said, this is old medication, aka it fucks with their T cells to turn it into AIDS. Allegedly. So the medical facility in California contacted the medical facility in Memphis and said, allegedly, you're giving out old medication that fucks with their T cells, that turns it into AIDS. Allegedly. Not giving medical advice, I'm telling the story. And I said, when I heard that story, I had to go talk to a spiritual constituent. And I told him about the story, and he clowned me and said, I've been telling you about that. Da, 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 da. That they fucking around with the medicine. Allegedly. You motherfuckers out there who got that good HIV, you're on a switch. And they can switch you off and on at any time. Right now, they're letting you live, allegedly. Not giving medical advice. I'm talking. But wait until they switch up that medicine that fucks with your T cells. Allegedly. Which taps back into smart cities, which taps back into that movie I'm talking about. I'm just being Cancer right now, so you know I'm not making sense. But I need you guys to make it make sense. Fire and air. Because I know water and earth understands me. They're like, this is a crazy bitch, you know, or how earth is. This is a crazy bitch, but I understand what the fuck she talking about. And water like, yeah, I know what she talking about, but I don't know if I want to agree. But I'll agree, but I don't know if I want to agree. But I'll agree, but I don't want to agree. Which taps back into my research. I had to get back into my witch doctor effect. And I was researching the world of autism. I went back to the 1940s, 1950s, and 1960s. And I'm always going to say this. Remember, I was going to be a sex therapist. So I researched all of this within the energies of sex therapy to understand aggression and psychotic behavior and sadism behavior. Because autism could turn into a form of sadism, which some parts of people believe cannibalism. But that's above y'all pay grade. So I said, let me go back, because I need to understand some frequencies. There's been an energy going on with bottoms. You know, there's a movement going on with bottoms, bitch. They mad at these niggas. They ain't shit. I'm tired of paying for their child support. Me being that woman, man. Fucking these niggas. And I'm paying for their wife and children. You know, because they can do it better than us. Bottoms. You know, there's a movement going on with bottoms that they telling on the tops. And the tops are like, what the fuck is going on here? Why they telling on us? And the bottoms like, bitch, we tired of y'all. Y'all no good niggas. Y'all taking our money. I'm supporting you. I'm backing you up. I'm down for you. And black women, because you know this is all in the black culture, right? And black women like, nigga, please. So now the bottoms have put themselves in position as black women being down for their motherfucking man. You know what we do. Pay for the nigga's child support, supporting the nigga, backing him up. He broke back mountain. We taking care of everything. So now the gay boys who are bottoms are now the motherfuckers who are in our position who are now doing the same thing. Nigga, you can have it. You've taken the weight off of us. Now we can fuck with some real motherfuckers. Thank you. Take them niggas off our hands. Ladies, that's the way we have to look at it, right? Because remember, we are the snakes of 2025. And yeah, there are men who are bottoms that are like, they like the concept of the femininity of the snake. But guess what? The serpent didn't talk to you in the Garden of Eden. It talked to Eve. So I'm not being rude or disrespectful. It's just that you're not part of the spell work. You're not Mama Wata. You're not part of our works. So you are edged out. And you're going to say, it's discriminatory. Well, yeah, you're the same people who've caused the whole business to shut down in Concord, California, that have ladies' night. And therefore talk about it is just fucking discriminatory to have fucking ladies' night. So I don't give a fuck. I'm saying you can't be part of this because therefore in the Garden of Eden, the spirit did not talk to you. The serpent, the snake did not talk to you. The energies did not talk to you. It talked to Eve. So therefore, black women, if these black men who are bottoms, who are now on a fucking movement talking about that these niggas ain't shit, let them have them niggas and clear the road for us. Let them be the cleanup niggas. Don't be mad at them because they got them niggas. Let them have them niggas. While we deal with motherfucking real fucking men. And some of y'all like, bitch, I'm a stud. I am a nigga. I'm like, okay. Whatever. I'll put you over here. So if some of y'all sisters out there like, bitch, I'm fucking with a stud nigga. Okay, you fucking with a stud nigga. And you like, why is she talking like this? Because it's all motherfucking spell work, bitch. And it's time to shut down the motherfucking spell work that has kept us confined and on dumb shit. I was researching as a witch doctor, because at times I could become a witch doctor. And I'm going to say, me being a therapist, I'm being a witch doctor. I was researching autism from the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. Autism at one time was a white man's disease, a white child's disease. And infantile autism was a white person's disease because black people were considered slow and retarded. So there was no autism. Behavioral problems started with fucking autism and aggression and was considered psychotic. Autism is connected to sadism, which connects into cannibalism. It's a difference in feelings and emotions in someone that's out there that's downright psychotic. When they did all these research on these white children and white teenagers and white adults who have a form of aggression, psychotic behavior, sensory issues, it was white people. Where in the fuck did autism become an all-around energy? Do you understand it became an all-around energy after the pandemic because they have made us all psychotic? And with the form of autism, I'm just being a witch doctor. I don't know what I'm talking about. You know you're going to get fact checkers, but I'm fact checking. They have created a psychosis in our brain for us to have autism. We have sensory issues. We are detached. And we are so detached that we don't even know how to get into the universal soul to communicate with people. We get on a fucking app because you so sensory unsound. You're psychotic. You're full of sadism. You didn't understand people who had autism, they equal that to sadism? BDSMism? I'm just saying. Because, you know, you have all these Germans and British people back in the day who were fucking psychotic doing tests on motherfuckers who were considered sane, but they were insane. Kind of remind me of Cypress Hill. Insane in the brain. So you have insane in the brain motherfuckers saying you're insane. And then when you really start to look at it and look at it deep, these kids were being fucking abused by their fucking parents. Aggression, psychotic behavior, isolation. When you're isolated, you become fucking autistic, bitch. The pandemic created autism within us. So everything you do in life, you're fucking autistic. Bottoms, in the future, you're going to be considered autistic and retarded, allegedly. I guarantee you. Black men who are out here talking about their fucking bottoms and they don't want to get canceled and they on this whole energy of acting like they fucking black women going through some things, you are going to be considered having autistic behavior and psychotic. And that is why I told you in the last motherfucking video what it's going to be. You may not want to face it because they have you niggas migrating around from city to city, being fucking shiver entities. You're not even thinking about what the fuck is really going on. Do you understand his pronouns back in the 50s and 60s was considered autism? You up there talking about, I'm a pansexual, I'm this, I'm a cat. I have to be right to be called a cat. Nigga, they said you are autistic. What's his name? Wayne Brady? When you had his crazy ass talking about, I'm pansexual. Nigga, you autistic. According to teachings of the 50s, 40s, the 40s, 50s, and 60s. You autistic, motherfucker. You up there talking about that you are pansexual and you putting a pronoun on yourself. You autistic. Going forward, according to old school psychology, and I'm not giving a diagnosis, go research it for yourself because, you know, I'm being a witch doctor and I'm saying, you guys, they want to fact check you. No, go research that shit. Technically, if you are up there naming yourself a pronoun, you are considered autistic. That's in their words. I cracked up at one report, and it's funny, they've been showing it on social media, but I remember studying this shit in psychology of the story of the woman that said, my son said he was a dog. And I don't know if she said that he wanted to bite him. And they consider that shit autistic. Come on now. Come on, y'all. Aggression. Not regular emotional and feeling aggression, but aggression they consider autistic. They talk about behavioral problems. They talk about ADHD. They're trying to say behavioral problems. Bitch, you are fucking autistic. Do you understand abuse and mayhem can cause your whole mental energy to change for you to become autistic? And that's just one spectrum. Everybody out here is emotionless, non-guilty. But here's another thing. Did you know at one time to test you for autism, they tested your urine, your hearing, and your social history before they labeled you as autistic? They looked at behavioral traits and an energy, DX. Then they also had infantile autism and severe emotional disorder. When we go back to the pandemic, are you telling me they didn't mount autism on us? 6 feet, social distancing. You can't speak to your loved ones. Secluded, excluded, crazy, shots, mandate, create, in order. Some of them say that people with autism have bizarre ritualistic behaviors, sensory stimulation issues, sound games. They said people with autism have rituals, their own rituals. But all of this was under the study of white kids. What stood out to me was that they talked about the rocking back and forth and the movement of the body, right? I said, how come we are not coming to realize that Beyonce is fucking autistic? I said, is that what was going on with that bitch when she was rocking back and forth? How come we not admitting what we're seeing? Because we're afraid because the media censors you and fact checks you and say that it's not true, but it is fucking true. I said, I knew there was something wrong with Beyonce when she couldn't come across okay. MK Ultra. Are we fucking stupid? There's MK Ultra, then there's just some energies that niggas are not medicated. Are we gonna sit up here and not peep that Toni Braxton may be fucking autistic allegedly, and that's why her sons are autistic? Are we gonna sit up here and act like Beyonce is not autistic and that's why them kids are autistic? Are we gonna sit up here and act as if Tamar's son is not fucking autistic when we can see he's autistic allegedly? I don't know what I'm talking about. Because, you know, they say people like myself have schizophrenia, but we looking at shit in front of our face like, what the fuck is wrong with that kid? Are we gonna sit up here and now look at Tamar's Brokeback Mountain and that fucking welfare apartment she was in with her son having that interesting ass room, allegedly? And he putting on her meek and fur? Are we gonna stop it in 2025? Are we gonna stop looking at this shit? I need black people to go back to the world of the rich and famous, where we just look at facades. I don't need to understand that you Nene and Cynthia and y'all really broke as fucking creating a storyline because y'all really ain't got shit. I don't want to know that part. I shouldn't even know that your ass is broke. I need you to come with your fur mink coat and perpetrate. I need y'all to go back to perpetrating. Because they have given us too much information about witchcrafted behavior. Allegedly. And they keep putting you fucking entertainers in our face, and y'all of special needs. Y'all have intellectual disabilities. And guess what, bottoms? I'm not talking about the tops, but bottoms. They saying y'all niggas got intellectual disabilities. Because you have the audacity to transform yourself into a black woman and act like you got black women problems. You stupid as fuck if you think you the better man and you acting like that I could be a better man. I could be a better woman because women should act like this. I'm going to pay for the child support. I want to date a man with children and a wife because I'm the better woman. And you tell me that's not a psychosis? You tell me it's not a psychosis? That on social media they showing luxury weddings and my black ass sitting up there because I see the groom. I'm like, oh, what does the bride look like? And there's a whole nigga. I'm like, what? I don't care who's mad. I'm disappointed. You don't think I'm looking at the fact that I'm like, damn. They sat up here and created a whole movement against black women eating dinner and all this shit. But you got whole niggas up here paying for other niggas in luxury fashions and designs and food and no problems. That's a psychosis. Now you want to tell on the tops and say they no good niggas. That's a psychosis. I'm going to consider that you guys have autism. According to old school energies, I'm going to say you have autism. I'm not being rude. I'm not saying all. I'm saying you, especially your new breeds, your Gen Zs, and your fucking later millennials who don't have no fucking sense. And have believed that they were when I see Big Frida and he was on that talk show, whatever that shit with Black China's mom and him, and he was like, well, bitch, I'm prissy. I'm getting off it because y'all not acting ladylike. That's mommy issues. You niggas out there having fucking mommy issues because you mad that your mama was a hoe, popping that pussy, doing what she was doing, and you felt she not being a mama and she not being ladylike, so you have created your own world of what the fuck you think a woman should be. That's why we have the fucking ballroom, bitch, because you guys are angry at your mamas, not at your daddies, at your mamas. And you felt your mama was unladylike. You want to know how I know? Because my sons believe that I'm unladylike. And I don't give a fuck. Men have a perception. They want a Stedford wife. They want a Betty Crocker. From heterosexual to gay males. And we not fucking talking about the fuck what these bottoms talk about and these men are talking about. What the fuck are we talking about? Especially as being fucking black women. Fuck everybody else. Look at us. Because they have a real issue with us. You know why they have an issue with us? Because we are the creators, the maker. We could basically create you and we could kill you. And I'm talking about black women. Because black women, we are the creator of all civilization. And that is the fucking truth. They have to come from melanated black women pussies first before they get anywhere else. We are the mothers of Chinese women, white women, whatever women, all women. We're going to talk in 2025, right? Because we have other cultures coming in trying to reinvent culture. Right? I'm just talking as a witch doctor. So there's a whole bottoms revolution. And the tops are like, bitch, what the fuck these bitches for? That's the whole reason why we was fucking with these niggas. Cause we didn't want to be bottom with them female bitches. Now we got these fucking bottoms acting like fucking females and they telling all our motherfucking business and doing too much and having psychological issues. And now they didn't put themselves in place of a regular woman. Damn. Our whole reason of fucking your asses is because we didn't want to fuck with them bitches. That's why you bitches don't even realize that you getting P-Valleyed. You all under their work. They are not your fairy godmother. They are not your den mother. These are men. I'm up here being told there's a whole philosophy called side in the bottom world. They want, from what I'm being told, they want you to send videos of them, of you fucking tops. They want to see how you get down. Women don't do that. Women don't go around talking about, well, you know, I'm going to be a side. I'll lick your ass and suck your dick and maybe jack you off. But that's very funny. Didn't that come from Megan Thee Stallion? Go and listen to Captain Hook. And I believe it's the third verse where she basically talked about that there's no penetration. So I said, so Megan Thee Stallion was all along for bottoms. So I had to go back and listen to Megan Thee Stallion music. I said, this is bottom music. This. Her music is for bottoms. No women, no wonder women out here acting like dudes. We still questioning who that is. You're not even tripping that you're literally listening to bottom music. Cardi B is bottom music. Megan Thee Stallion is bottom music. Think about all the bottom music and you thinking yourself as, ooh, she's liberating. She's liberating them bottoms. Makes you go back and wonder what the real reason of the energies of Tory Lanez, right? You got niggas out here mad, then brought up fucking Trick Daddy talking about licking ass. NLE Chopper licking ass. What, to open up the booty hole? Give it good wetness? What? Who would have known WAP was really connected to bottoms? Can we go backwards? And some of you black people facilitating this shit, millennials and Gen Zs, you're facilitating this because we don't want to talk about this energy. Well, we're gonna talk about it anyway. December 30th. If you were abroad, there was an energy that said, in Spain, be leery of terrorist attack. That was in Spain, or a warning before you went to Spain on the 30th of December. London had a warning of a terrorist attack and terrorist alert, and they was trying to be real interesting there. NYC New Year's Eve was very odd because they were playing in your face with those immigrants that they had in front of the barriers, trying to act like they was trying to get to, I guess, the other part of where the ball drops. And then they open it up, and these third world immigrants come running booking, and you didn't even know they was hired actors. Those are those immigrants. I said, what the fuck is going on here? Those are immigrants that they have in front of the barriers playing a game. What game are they playing? New York ain't shit. They have hidden immigrants from Central and South America hiding up in the cuts, especially in Times Square. They got them dressed to the motherfucking T. And they have them in those high-end hotels living. And when I was peeping them, I said, I know a fucking Guatemalan when I see it. And they up there hiring these motherfuckers as hired actors. And you're not even peeping it. Action going on in New York. Right? Las Vegas, they playing in your face about Trump and Elon Musk Cybertruck and allegedly a terrorist attack. The Cybertruck exploded. Them trucks been exploding and causing accidents. There's stranger danger. In front of Trump Tower. Stop trying to be novelty. Sound like an insurance policy scam. You have some shit going on in Lafayette. A shooter? Louisiana? Come on now. For New Year's Eve, I had the audacity to go to Universal Studios in Southern California. I was elbowing niggas with my elbow because these people had their souls zapped from them. Just to go back to autism, that's the way they were acting, like they had autism. I'm like, what's up with these people? A lot of them were third world. A lot of them were just, it seemed just like non-Americans. And then I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I think my son knew what the fuck was going on. And so we were over there at Harry Potter. And apparently, I guess that's where they were supposed to have been doing the fireworks. Right? I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I had to take up for so many people. And there was a lady with a wheelchair. She was like, I'm just trying to get to my husband. Do you understand them third world motherfuckers would not let her through? I had to get in front of her and clear them out the way. And we couldn't even get far. And they stood firm on the ground. And I'm like, why aren't y'all moving? They just wouldn't move. And what they'll do is see you come through and just stand still like this. I said, what in a non-motherfucking American is this shit? And this sensibility where you see a woman with a fucking wheelchair and you can't walk through? They wouldn't let her through because they was too busy of her becoming first. That later on, it became a whole fight. That my sons had to even stop me. Like, Mom, stop. Because you up here like elbow. I said, well, I can see this year is going to be very saucy and sassy. I was right. Because then I get a later text saying there was a terrorist attack in New Orleans. Ever since Katrina happened, the world has been fucked up. They've been trying to neutralize spell work, occultism, Bible Belt energy since Katrina. Kentucky, the Carolinas, Atlanta, Louisiana, and Texas are basically the hot spots. They keep causing the Leviticus effect. We want to say Hebrews were in Africa and all that shit. Hebrews were right here in this energy that we call the United States, and Atlanta had a whole bunch of Hebrews, and there is writing to prove that the Hebrews were right there in Atlanta, and we don't want to say that the Hebrews were most likely Indians, and I don't mean East Indians. If we want to say Aborigines, Native, Indigenous, whatever you want to call it, we don't want to say that Hebrew people were a whole tribe, the real ones. And they were right there. Ever since Katrina, it has wiped out spiritual work / Christianity, and things have spiraled since. They replaced the spell work with fucking fake ass white people doing vampire, Wiccan, and all that work. Now we have Indians and Vietnamese Asians coming in doing work. And Louisiana has been hell ever since. Because there's certain epicenters that energies push out of to create an energy. Wiccans and these fake vampire white folks been fucking up ever since. Black people are fucking lost. They don't even know their fucking power anymore. Right? So we have this interesting energy that happened in Louisiana. Now here's some fact checking, because I'm fact checking the media and the news for lying. That man that they say who did it didn't do it. We're going to say allegedly. He didn't do it. From witnesses who seen it, Because I had someone hit me up telling me what they seen. Then I had to go and verify with other people what they seen. And people were hitting me up. They said it was a white man shooting in the crowd. Then a white truck came in. And I had to verify it against what somebody else saying. Because in the ABC News, it is saying that there was a shooter. So what are all these fucking angles that they fucking showing us of this fucking white truck? And there's people from Louisiana saying that usually there are barriers. And if there's anything going on, the police will go and block off the area. What's going on? So why are people saying that they were blocking roads earlier that night, that evening, coming from Hammond and different parts of Louisiana, and they couldn't enter into New Orleans before this supposed terrorist attack? Furthermore, what is the insurance policy? What is the insurance policy and insurance if there's a terrorist attack? If they say it's a terrorist attack, then what money does that state or city get from the federal government? Y'all seen who is it? Is it John Kennedy or whatever, the cousin or whoever this is, who was born in Mississippi? You seen him at the press conference with a fucking was it a Solo cup or Dixie cup? What the fuck was up in that cup? He was drinking that shit like a motherfucker. I said, what he drinking on? Then you seen, was it Jeffrey Laundrie, your fucking governor? And I'm like, he ain't shit. They was up there doing a press conference and you have public relations trying to dress him up to talk. Then you have that Cottrell from being from Los Angeles. Then you know the police chief, she's from fucking Oakland. Wasn't she fired? Didn't she leave Oakland, California? Then they had the audacity the next day, and Cottrell and whoever's in the second, what they call the second line in New Orleans, walking down the street. Then I started thinking, I said, what a way to turn this into Fisherman's Wharf, how they fucked up Fisherman's Wharf, putting all that corporate shit. So therefore, you scare people to death to not come to the French quarters, that basically shuts down the small businesses, then keeps another energy, that brings in another energy to buy up every fucking thing, to turn it into corporate entities. Because you guys are understanding Louisiana, just historical businesses or historical buildings are just crashing and falling. That means that they want to rebuild New Orleans, because New Orleans is a tourist spot. But I guarantee you, they keep that shit up, it's going to turn just like Fisherman's Wharf fucked up. Ain't nobody visiting no fucking Fisherman's Wharf like that, all that corporate entity. This sounds like a plot and a plan. So you kill the real work. You kill Texas' real work. You kill Louisiana's real work. You kill Atlanta's real work. You kill Kentucky's real work. You kill the Carolinas' real work, to create division and confusion. Then you come and bring in certain type of gentrifiers and migrants. Just at the end of the day, your fucking governor ain't shit, allegedly, because he's riding with third world energies to take over Louisiana as if it didn't. And I had to ask a couple of spiritual constituents, I said, before Katrina, were the Vietnamese in it like that? They said no. So now Mardi Gras could be fucked up, and Mardi Gras is fucking commercial. They keep talking about the Sugar Bowl. Well, I said, that's very interesting. If the Sugar Bowl was going on, that means you had a lot of young tissues going on. Because somebody forwarded me something of how, see, people talk about, organ harvesting, but they not talking about tissue harvesting. Because I had a spiritual constituents forward something to me where they doing tissue harvesting, especially of the dead. And there's no address to it. It's just a phone number. And I think it's called Medicure or something. Let me see. What is it called? We just talking, right? We just talking. We just having a conversation. Yeah, it's called Medicure, Medcure. Body donation, research, education, all that, patient reference, medical advancement through body donation, creating a lasting legacy. Body donation, it significantly impacts advancements of medical research, development, and education every day. Medicure acts as a bridge between whole body donors and the medical professionals who rely on those donations to help shape the future of medicine. Together, donors and medical professionals make lasting impacts on future medicine, bitch. And so, the American Association of Tissue Banks. So you guys talk about organ harvesting. Let's talk about them tissues. So you have a whole energy of sugar bowls. So that means there's a certain crowd that's going to be there. So then on TikTok, I'm sorry, on X, there's video of dead bodies, bodies disfigured, brain smashed, and I said that was a whole blood sacrifice. But then you get people who are there who's seen the shit and saying what it is, what it ain't at 3:15 a.m. They didn't told you 10 people died, 15 people died. They didn't told you 30 injured. They didn't told you 35 injured. They didn't told you 40 injured. Then they didn't told you 45 injured. Well, which one is it? Then you had a Ukrainian that they couldn't even find, allegedly. His people were looking for him and he was up in the hospital on life support. What the fuck is going on here? Then they give us this energy called, what's his name, Jamar, whatever, talking day. So everybody talk about, oh, that's a black man. I'm looking at him, I'm like, well, shit, this is connected to Elon Musk, because then you have over there in Vegas with that Cybertruck explosion. What the fuck is over here? Because then people up there talking about, well, was that a Tesla truck? Well, I don't know what the hell that is, because I never known Tesla to make trucks. But however, if you go research, remember, we have these self-driving trucks, because there's people saying that they didn't even see people or a person behind the steering wheel, because it was going mayhem. Because you guys been seeing how some of those woo cars or whatever, those self-driving vehicles have been kind of going to the left and right, and you can actually control them. So what is the truth? It's almost like Luigi. You got people saying that's not the person on the video. Because they didn't went from saying Luigi, remember the whole thing was a black man, to these different energies. We don't know what the fuck is going on. Now all of a sudden they are identifying the individual who was allegedly burned on the train. First they gave us an AI and a whole scenario. Now they saying that the person has been legitimately, and I pronounced it wrong, identified. The person who was burned. I said, huh? Because remember I said it didn't make sense because of textiles. What the fuck is going on here? First they said she walked on. Now they saying she was asleep. Which one is it? And then this immigrant who don't know what the fuck is going on, Guatemalan, is going to come up and burn people? That doesn't make sense. So then lose back to this person. I was like, he from Texas. I said, he looked like he's fucking Middle Eastern. And we have to be careful, because with that whole Elon Musk energy, remember they showed us that they can create AI into human form in addition to create voices. They want to make sure that all these people are sleeper cells in military. That sounds like an old school energy. What the fuck is really going on? Because it sounds like insurance policy. It sounds like an immigrant takeover of properties. And they don't want to tell us that there's something out of country that's coming in trying to take over the French quarters and the money energy. And like I said, let Fisherman's Wharf be the example of what can happen when corporate entities come in and take over small businesses. Small businesses is basically the culture of the energies. This is a new world order, and they're trying to make this into one entity. They don't want nothing small. They want to control every fucking thing. But it's not the American people who you think it is. It is a third world energy that's a fucking hater and feel that we have lived too righteously, especially black people. And they keep studying the energies of going back into old school frequencies, and making something under corporate and reputable is a way to do it. And this whole energy right here proves it, because we don't know what the fuck is going on. And they giving us two different energies. So you telling me he drove one down the street, almost ran over motherfuckers, then turned down the street and ran over motherfuckers. But they're not talking about the live shooter. Now, the white guy that everybody's seen, they seen him. They saying, everybody's saying this, that it was a live shooter, allegedly, and then a white truck come from rolling by. Why were they blocking roadways? And a spiritual constituent was telling me her people was trying to come from Hammond, and they blocked it into New Orleans. I had a spiritual constituent telling me about the Superdome. I said, and the Superdome been taken over by Caesars. And they said it has fucked up the energies of Louisiana, because there were still, they said, certain frequencies that was connected to Caesars, meaning the Superdome. Because, you know, and I said, well, damn, all that shit that went on the Superdome, and then to find out that there's dead bodies underneath the Superdome, then you have the audacity to put Greek energy. Why would you put Greek energy in Louisiana? Do you see how they keep breaking energies to disintegrate culture and customs and foundation? Just like people are talking about how the Mexicans are living on the plantations and allegedly talking about what it is, what it ain't, what it is, what it ain't, and what it is and what it ain't that's going on the plantations. I'll let y'all figure that out. And how they used the plantations. The real reasons and what's going on those plantations that you see Mexicans on. What's his name? Shamsud Din was Jabbar? Did y'all see all the Mason symbols? I was like, is he Ethiopian? What is he? Because some of you guys could be hella lame, be like, nah, he could be from Texas. He could be from Louisiana. I said, that looked like a whole Middle Eastern to me. What's happening here? It almost looked like, he looked like that. His facial features looked like back in 2001 of some of them people during the World Trade Center, and then they didn't slap some kind of Photoshop on his face filter, and then had him talking in these videos. And they saying there's so many videos. Well, show us the videos. What videos are y'all talking about? Allegedly. Then you have Elon Musk. He's the fucking vice president. It's not Vance, it's Elon Musk. He and that fucking Gemini are stuck together. I said, I know that's right. Because that person that they call Trump, I think he's under house arrest. How come he keep doing everything at Mar-a-Lagos? And you know Lagos is demonic. The Lagos is a demon. I said, is this nigga on house arrest? I told you that nigga gonna be your president from being in jail. He keep inviting everybody to Mar-a-Lagos. Is he pulling an Oprah? Does he have an ankle monitor? Is that part of his sentence? I'm just asking questions. Y'all out here talking about Elon Musk is God. Do you know in certain countries they're saying in the chit chatter is that Elon Musk is stating in certain countries, see, they're not really talking about it here. They just giving you a precursor. See, in other countries, they tell the truth that Elon Musk is up there allegedly saying that he's not going to hire any white folks. And I heard this from more than one source, that he's not going to hire any white folks. We're going to say slash Americans. He's only going to hire Indians to work at Tesla. It's just like your internet service, I guess it was the VPN. Do you understand you could pull up shit that's American in those countries that you can't pull up here? I had a spiritual constituent saying that she was talking to a person who was from the Philippines who's an attorney. And she was in Paris at the time, and a person from the Philippines saying that America recruits abroad and basically have them go to Harvard and Yale. We're going to say Harvard and Yale, Ivy League schools. They recruit them. Especially their law department. Anybody in a law department, Harvard will educate them. And I said, bitch, is that why? Is that another energy they used them Asians for that affirmative action shit? Because on a simple fact that their asses is up here recruiting other motherfuckers and giving them free education and other education at Harvard? And you have a Filipino woman who went to school in the Philippines. I said, what in the fuck type of agreement does America have with America's Brokeback Mountain behavior with these other countries? Globally, everything is fucked up. So it's very clear America for real sold us. And I told you guys when I used to work at Patelco Credit Union and all them people that was coming in from Pacific Bell, from India, and for SBC Global Fiber Optics, and America recruited them and taught them engineering. So now America is educating third world people to come in as attorneys and lawyers or whatever and judges. It's not allegedly, but I'm going to say allegedly. I was cracking up because they were talking about how in Hollywood they would have fake Indians. I cracked up when I found out, I guess Espera Oscar de Corte and de Corte, he played in Ernest Goes to Camp, and I guess he played in other movies in Hollywood, that he was a whole Italian pretending to be a fucking Native American, as they call it. As we talk autism, what the fuck is going on with Megan Good and Jonathan Majors? You have Reese on Dwight Howard's ass again, still talking about he's a molester, but I need to understand some questions. I seen Dwight Howard in the fucking Philippines, and I want to know what the fuck he was doing in the Philippines, because he seemed quite sold, and them Filipinos was treating him like shit, like he was just a mandingo. Because you guys understand, you guys assume a mandingo is a man that basically have sex with a woman, a white woman, or whatever type of entity that is. No, a mandingo is really a man who have sex with another man, and they went and put that shit on top of our black men. So therefore, when he was in the Philippines, from what I seen, he was acting like a mandingo. It was like he was being sold to a Filipino. What the fuck is going on with Burna Boy? Or why are we not admitting that African guy that you guys call Burna Boy is gay as a motherfucker, and fucking Chloe is a fucking beard, allegedly. Solange Knowles had a lot to say about Jay-Z trying to say her sister allegedly is not peeping that he's a rapist, allegedly. Well, we need to see you, Solange, because we haven't seen you for a minute. So when you take that costume off pretending to be fucking Blue Ivy, then we can have a conversation. Y'all out here talking about Eve because how she was under some witchcraft of under all them white folks. I said, boy, Eve done sold herself. I said, she's a mammy. They just might as well cut her neck off and put her as a plaque on the wall. You know white people like mammies. She might have been on that Thanksgiving table or whatever Christmas table, allegedly. You know, Lisa's supposed to come back. She's having interviews with CBS shows and shit. I don't need to hear shit about Lisa and that Colt Jam with her non-singing ass at this point. She needs to go on and sit her ass down because her voice is gone. I don't think she could sing back in. I think it was just her breast being big as a motherfucker and men was attracted to her boobs. Kerry Washington, she out here lying. Now she's saying some other shit going on with her family. I said, we don't know if her father's her father, her mother is mother. She keep creating all these stories about her family. So you know they got her under MK Ultra. Nicki Minaj, I don't know how in the fuck she's connected to the dude from the Cosby Show that they didn't revamp. You remember they found him up in Trader Joe's or somewhere working, minded his business, and they put him back on the set and she gave some kind of donations. And I said, what the fuck is going on here? How does he and Nicki Minaj even interact with each other? I don't get that part. Tiana Taylor, you see how they didn't brought her low. And she's out here showing butt pics and breast pics and all of that mess, right? And y'all see how, what's her name, Khalees or whatever, how we don't know what her job is. She's selling every fucking thing. First she's in Ghana somewhere buying property. Now she's into, I don't know, some kind of hair stuff. Then she was into food stuff. She's into this, she into that. They just have that Leo doing every fucking thing. Then I was very interested as we talking about Tiana Taylor, the Dionne Warwick, but how come we not talking about, what's her name, Lithofane? And her name is spelled Lithophayne. Her last name is Pridgon. She looks like Dionne Warwick, and Tiana Taylor looked like both Dionne Warwick and this person. And the Letho, I'm going to call her Lithofane, she is in the industry. Who are these people? I'm a little suspicious with Damon Dash. Damon Dash was talking about how Jay-Z treated his artist a meal and basically saying in so many words that he wasn't trying to take care or help take care of her kid. Then I have a question. Is one of Emil kids Jay-Z's? I'm just asking questions. I don't know, because the way Damon Dash was talking was like as if he didn't want to take care of his kid. It's like it's not his problem. I'm just asking questions because you know that Emil, they kind of did her dirty and she said she didn't want to be in the industry. I went back and I was looking at the fact that they had that open, that Kim Kardashian opened that store, Skims, in New York. I don't know why people keep buying shit from Skims and including that Fenty bullshit that's third world and fast fashion and cheap fabric. Now maybe, you know, Skims is not for plus size girls. I have on Skims right now, and every time I put it on my body, all of a sudden the hole comes. It's cheap fabric. I think fast fashion is for little petite girls because that Skims is cheap as a motherfucker. I don't know what type of spell work that is. And I seen that shit, that Fenty store they opened up in Detroit. I said, that's some cheap ass shit. Then I went back and I was looking at SZA and I was wondering, I said, does SZA have not Down syndrome, but autism? And I think she's supposed to be in the movie with Keke Palmer. It seems like the movie with Keke Palmer is dealing with some kind of stripping shit. Why are they acting like black women form of hustle is stripping? I didn't strip. I know plenty of black women didn't strip. They just hustled their ass and made their way and handled their business. What is this new form? Is this some millennial shit? Is that what y'all do, strip? Because the bottom line is that where are they getting this philosophy from? But let me get into something. So I understand that SZA comes from a background of Islamic or Muslim energy. But sometimes I don't even know who in the fuck she is. Sometimes she speaks normal. Sometimes she speaks like a child. Sometimes she goes to the left. She goes to the right. I said, that is really weird for a fucking Scorpio. Scorpios don't be doing all that shit. They do a lot of shit, but they don't do that shit. It's very bipolar of her, we will say. But it makes me wonder, does she have a form of autism? You know, they fucked her up a couple of years back. You know, remember I said she was gone for a minute off of social media. Then she came back all fucking ritualistic out. So we don't know what we getting with SZA. And then, you know, Lizzo, we don't know if that's an alien because I told you her feet, ankles, and legs be looking all weird. So we don't know what's going on. Then, is it Joe Budden? You know, they out here throwing that Stevie J done slept with Joe Budden. I said, I guess that shit is true, huh? And then, you know, the men that were in the movie Best Man, I guess they have a whiskey or brandy coming out. I said, I don't know why they think we want to buy all that shit. We got Cardi B on TikTok selling fucking facial cream and all that bullshit. You got Gwyneth Paltrow and her crew trying to push that damn goo, being brand ambassadors. We have a new energy going on, so therefore we have some appropriators. So there's a new energy out here, and it's called Naughty Girl Fitness, a body positive dance fitness method, the best workout from home. Start your free trial now. So therefore you have this white girl doing the most in a pink jumpsuit, twerking and I don't know, slaying, doing all this shit, and then you have an Asian and a white girl behind her. I said, this is the shit I'm talking about with these white people. They watch what the fuck black people do, and then they make money off it, where stupid ass black people don't make money off their own shit. You could have created your own frequency behind this. There's money behind this. Now you got a white girl, you know, everybody, oh, she doing the most. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. This fucking reminds me of kickboxing, because you know, white girls, Asian girls, Mexicans, they love that kickboxing, and they kickboxing yo ass and whooping yo ass. So now they getting into twerking and all this and exercise. There's one thing white people will do. If they want to take over your shit, they will put it in exercise form and make money off of it. This is appropriation for this to be going on. Okay? But black people, especially black women, you should be ashamed of yourself of you doing this shit and you doing it for free. And these motherfuckers are going to create a new culture behind your booty twerking. And you know, people don't have a bit of sense, and they'll be like, oh, that white girl getting it, and you get these lame ass niggas who are calling themselves, you know, part of the culture, and you're not even realizing somebody's appropriating your culture. Allegedly. Then we have another energy going on where people, I call it energy occultism. So let me see here. And I think I talked about this before. And before I get to that, what's up with all of these black women marrying all these old white people? What's going on with that? I mean, and I'm talking about African women. What's that energy? Yeah. So I talked about this before. The person name is Jacqueline Trost Windham. And she's out of Los Angeles, and she called it myofascial release trigger points therapist. I'm so sick and tired of these people talking about handling myo points. Meanwhile, like I said to you, I think in a previous video, these people are releasing other people's pain in the universe, and it doesn't have an outlet, and then you wondering why you have sciatica. And y'all go to these retreats as they're jumping around these type of painful spirits on top of you. That's a spirit when you're dealing with them type of people, and they come trying to press on your pressure points, talking about that they're releasing the pain in your body. We all know that different parts of your body carries pain. But when I peep her, I was like, she seemed like she's a very FBI agent. No, or we're gonna say CIA taught. I don't want these people energy on top of me and is flowing in the universal soul on top of my black ass. And have you guys been seeing these dumbass criminals? Did y'all see that dumbass shit with that girl picking up a receipt at Walmart and then going doing the shopping? And it didn't make sense, and she went and reshopped and got all the groceries. I said, she's not making sense. Don't they watch you? And she walked out with the shit, and people were asking, well, how did she bag it? How did that happen? And then my whole thing is, why do you people keep getting on social media showing the game? So you just want them to make rules. I say, this era, hella dumb, hella stupid, do dumbass shit. Anyway, I'm done with my witch doctor energy and looking at New Year's Eve and how that went. This is Wayward Renegade Witches blog. Hit us up when you want some real motherfucking work done.